Welcome to Social Selling University. My name is Koka Sexton and I'm with Inside View. Today we're going to give you a primer, or more of an introduction, to selling to Customer 2.0. We'll cover social media and how it's relevant in a B2B sales environment, why salespeople need to be using social media, and how they can get started in social networks. It shouldn't be news to you that customers have disconnected from traditional sales and marketing communications. The revolution against interruption-based marketing is almost complete, and in order to survive, businesses need to adapt to the new Customer 2.0. One trend that I've been seeing lately is that customers have gone from listening to an active engagement mode before a sales cycle even really begins. They're connecting with customers, reading reviews and blogs, and finding people they know, and essentially forming a decision before you even have a chance to engage as a sales team. This is a huge shift that requires a different approach to prospect engagement. So I've identified a social selling cycle that any salesperson can use to connect with these new types of customers and start building relationships and creating new opportunities faster. One place customers are now looking for information is within their own social networks. From LinkedIn to Twitter, customers are now finding more information about what to buy from their friends than from calling a company directly and getting sold to. Salespeople need to be involved in these conversations to provide valuable insight and engagement. Now, this isn't a plug for Salesforce, but I found this to be an interesting quote. Salesforce.com changed the way companies manage accounts and contacts. Real-time data now drives a business decision, just as social media is starting to drive real-time buying decisions. Knowing what to listen for and engaging a customer during that buying process is a salesperson's best strategy. Now, this is a recent poll where people were asked for a response to the question, how is Twitter useful? And an overwhelming majority of the responses really fell within, people are using Twitter to save them time by researching products and services, who's talking about what, and deciding which products to even take a look at based on this feedback. Now, this may seem like marketing data, but it's really a call to action for sales teams. People are using social media as a primary tool for getting information on products and services. If it's from a search on Twitter or a deeper conversation on LinkedIn or a forum, people are not asking companies for information anymore. They're asking their peers, other customers, and trusted advisors. LinkedIn Answers is a leader in the B2B space for people looking for information about a product or service. Salespeople need to be a member of as many groups as they can find that will let them see what's being discussed and engage with customers in a way that makes them seem like leaders in their space. And don't take this lightly. Your competitors are already starting to do this, so don't fall behind. Now, social media can make or break a brand. Kryptonite Lock went to market as the unbreakable lock, and that's really how they made a name for themselves. Until a teenager picked one of their locks with a Bic pen, videotaped it, and put it on his own little blog. Kryptonite was aware that this video was out there, but didn't really put any value in some kid's blog with a video about one of their locks getting picked. What really happened was this video went viral and cost the company $15 million in product recalls. Using social media tools like Twitter will also make you more professional, and that's not a problem for most people. So just be careful what you update. You don't want to say anything derogatory or inflammatory that may come back to haunt you or your company. And this is an example of what not to say. This individual was going to meet FedEx, got off the plane, sent out this update, and FedEx actually saw this. This created a media frenzy when FedEx publicly responded to this update being sent out. And this is a prime example of whatever you say online will always be found. I actually found this tweet by knowing about the story and just doing a Google search on it. Your customers are talking about you, and you may not even know about it. And your customers are talking to other customers, they're talking to their friends, So what you really need to do is be a part of those conversations. So within social selling, we really take on our own approach, and this is our own methodology that we handle internally. We listen to further conversations online. We connect with people who are interested in our product or have questions about a pain that they have and how it can be solved. And that really equals engagement. Our vision for social selling is simple. Listen for the conversations. You know who your customers are. You know which people at these companies you deal with on a regular basis. Chances are you already know that they have a LinkedIn profile, or if they're on Twitter, if they have a blog, or some other presence online. You should follow them, and you should engage with them whenever it's appropriate. Not always related to your business or your product or whatever the case may be on a professional level, but try and see if you can get a relationship with them on a personal level. Because people buy from people, and if they see that you are engaged with them outside of a professional aspect, chances are they're going to be more apt to either buy from you or to stay your customer longer. And that's really why salespeople should be engaged. You'll be able to find new opportunities. You'll learn more about your prospects and your customers. You can build relationships with influencers in the space, generate interest in your product or service, and create a better alignment between sales and marketing. And social media really empowers salespeople. Back in 1876 up until the early 80s, the phone was the only form of communication that a salesperson had. In fact, when email was first introduced in a business level, companies were afraid to let salespeople have access to it. But can you imagine not having access to your email now? The same is true with the evolving customer. They're online, they're on Twitter, they're on LinkedIn, they have Facebook, they have blogs, they have other online presence that you can engage with. So why get stuck in a phone or just email and start adapting to a new form of communication? And this engagement is appreciated. So this was a Twitter update that went out not too long ago where somebody asked a question about our product. We didn't come off as spammy and send them links to white papers or discount codes or anything along those lines. We really went to our network. We have a couple thousand followers, and said, do any of our followers, any of our customers have any interest in engaging with this person to tell them how great we are, or give them any feedback? The end result was that they came back and were very happy the fact that we engaged with them. And today's buying process really starts out with a conversation. Somebody asks a question online, and people will be more than happy to answer people's questions. People are helpful. Next thing you know, you have advocates, you have other customers going in and talking about your product. And as a salesperson, this is a perfect opportunity for you to engage personally or engage your network and ask for their feedback. So what, as a salesperson, should you do? The first thing I tell any sales team is that you need to refresh your LinkedIn profile. Most people think of LinkedIn as a way to keep in contact with past coworkers, or they really only update their profile when they're looking for a new job. This is really old school thinking, and I think that sales teams are beginning to adapt to this, and we're going to go into a lot more detail as this series progresses. But starting off, what you really need to do is customize your headline. I think by default it is your current title and your company that you're working with. So what you need to do is go in, put in some keywords around your company and what you really do. This is all searchable, so when somebody goes into LinkedIn and searches, for example, social CRM, I want to make sure that our company and the people within our company come up into the top of that search. Add a photo and add some websites. If your company has a blog, if there's a Twitter profile, there's other information online that you can direct somebody to, you should add all of this information within your LinkedIn profile. Because the reality is that they're going to come to your profile just like you're looking at them as a salesperson. So when somebody goes to your LinkedIn profile, make sure that it's almost a self-service tool that they can get information from. And you'll also be able to find out who's looking at you. As you update your profile, as you make it more optimized for your customers and for prospects to find you on LinkedIn, you're going to start seeing that people are coming to your profile on a more regular basis. And you'll be able to see who those people are in most cases. So if you're connected with these people, or if I think you're within 2 degrees of these individuals, you'll actually be able to see their full information. And then the second thing that I tell sales teams is to join Twitter. There's always some reluctance to this, but the reality is that with all the conversations, with all the questions that are happening on Twitter on a minute-by-minute basis, this is really a prime opportunity to engage with prospects in real time. So some quick do's and don'ts. Add a picture. You don't want to have your default, I think it's the egg now. You want to create your bio. You can cut and paste the same customized headline you have in LinkedIn. As you continue to get followers, you want to update them on a regular basis. And you can really just retweet news. I try and do the 80-20 rule where I only talk about, our company or something that our company offers, 20% of the time. 80% of the communication that goes out through Twitter is really other news about the industry, things that I found that were interesting online. And as you continue to follow more people, companies, and big brands, you're going to start finding that people are coming back and following you. And above all, really have a personality. You don't want to sound like a robot online. So a few things not to do. And I kind of touched on this a second ago. You don't want to spam. You don't want to have every one of your updates saying, download this white paper, get the free product here, here's the discount code. People turn off on that information. It's traditional marketing. So as a salesperson, you want to go spread information. You want to be seen as helpful. So don't spam your product. You don't want to follow 100 people a day. And by this I mean that you want to have some type of ratio between the number of people that are following you and the people that you're following. Nothing turns a new prospect off or somebody that's interested in following you more than looking at your profile and seeing that you have 6 followers, but you're following 20,000 people. Don't ignore a genuine direct message. And by this I mean you're going to get some spam in your DM box. You get it in your email also. But if somebody connects with you on Twitter and asks you a genuine question, you should feel free to engage with them. And never argue with someone. Inevitably, it's going to happen. Somebody's going to say something bad about your company, maybe even something about you personally. You don't want to get into a public argument online. Ignore it or find ways to take it offline. So within Social Selling University right now, you've just seen the primer. We have a whole series of content getting built out that's going to be available soon, where you're going to learn more about how to use LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and even blogs and other forums for lead generation, for inside sales professionals, and account management, all the way up into an upsell and cross-sell. So what did we cover? Social media is relevant in a B2B sales environment. Companies and decision makers are online daily looking and asking questions about products. And that's really why salespeople need to be involved in social media. These conversations are happening online, and you need to start engaging. Or your competitors will, and they're going to win the business because they're going to get involved in that sales cycle much earlier than you are. And what to do to get started. Take a look at your LinkedIn profile, get it updated, start paying attention to the people that are looking at your profile and start engaging with them. Sign up for Twitter if you don't already have a profile and start using it as a business tool to engage with customers. So thank you very much for listening to the initial introduction of the primer to Social Selling University. We have a lot more content coming up soon, so keep coming back for more. If you have any questions, you feel free to email me. You can contact me on Twitter, or connect with me on LinkedIn, and we'll continue to build out this content. And if you have suggestions or comments on the content, feel free to let me know.